Welcome to Rock is Reality. Get ready for unfiltered and unapologetic culture, entertainment, relationships, and a little bit of politics on Motor City Woman Radio. Follow Rock is Reality on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. In the meantime, let's go. So already we've been chatting. Already, of course, Jennifer was like, "Are we live?" Because we was
Right.
like, she was spilling some tea, and it was like, "Wait a minute, we can't be spilling too much tea yet." So, welcome to Rocky's Reality, everyone. I am here today, tonight, this evening, with some fine sisters, y'all. Of course, like women, we just be black women. We just be bringing it in so many shapes and shades. I love it. So welcome to Jennifer Crawford Williams of Ask Jennifer and All Things Marketplace. All Is it All Things Detroit or All Things Marketplace?
So that is All Things Marketplace is my fulfillment center and shop, and then my event is All Things Detroit.
Okay, all right. So both of those, y'all. she does both of those. She is a small business guru, ambassador, and just all the things. And then we have Dorothea Kelly of Money Chat. Welcome back, actually, because Dorothea was here before, y'all. She one of the old school, she one of the friends of the show. She was on about what was it, like 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, in the beginning. Look, in the
beginning. I
beginning.
know, right? So, money guru, author, Money Chat, y'all.
Money
CEO
Chat,
and founder of Workspace Spark.
Yes.
Correct. So we'll get into that. And y'all know I don't do any formal like bios and stuff. Y'all can Google them if y'all want on that. Okay. Just we gonna talk about, because your bio, sometimes you be like, it really, unless I write it, really doesn't
Say it.
shine light, on who the person is. I had to put that in there because we have all this AI going around now, and I get it. AI is great for certain functions.
It is.
But AI ain't gonna be able to do a poem or spoken word.
It's
not gonna. It might write an article, but it ain't gonna be. It don't catch the nuances of human.
It doesn't.
Humanity.
But I would say this. So I've been using AI for about a year and a half now, and
wow,
I do love it. Here's the thing, though. People are using it wrong. And they're used. How people just jump on something because it's new. They just jump on it because it's new.
Now, what did you use it for, Dorothea? What did you use it for?
Girl, okay. I use it to get prompts for blog articles.
Okay. So it'll send you like little topics.
It'll send me. It'll write a whole article.
Okay. It'll do everything.
But this is what's wrong. And are you finding this? People are taking it and just copying and pasting. Don't do that.
And see, that's what someone told
but
me.
Then also, when you think about it, it's a little scary. If I'm just talking into something and it's just doing everything for me, to me, that's a little scary, right? I mean, it's convenient, it's cool, but it is a little scary. But I get that because if you're copy and pasting, everybody copy and paste. Like, try to make it your own, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Perfect example. An editor said she was interviewing for a new position and got the exact same response from 2 applicants.
Stop it. Because
they used AI, obviously.
They used AI.
Now, I love being able to go to the checkout scan at the grocery store. I love the little thing when you go to a restaurant and you can just scan the little, QR code for your menu and your payments. Great. But for me, just like art, it's a different thing when you alter a picture than, even still, can AI do a painting? I mean, how far are we gonna take this?
So number one, it's already been took.
I haven't been using it that long.
It's already been took. It can do some of everything. But this is what I say, and I saw your post today, and I have been screaming this from the rooftop. What AI cannot do is the creativity. Can't take my creativity. So I do believe in using it because I do like it. I like the tool, but don't use it. It'll make you stop thinking. But think about anything. Think about the robots. Think about everybody thought everything was the end of the world.
Yeah.
And
it was Terminator comes to mind. I'm sorry.
Terminator. What's that one Will Smith movie? Like, I mean,
iRobot.
Yeah.
Was it iRobot?
Yeah.
It's convenient, but when it take over, and I'm with you, the creativity, because you can write a form letter. Okay. But can you really get into I take it personal because me as a writer, I'm going deep. You know, when I'm interviewing and when I'm writing an article, I'm trying to tap into, you know, the human emotions and just nuances and all of that. And it's just a lot of wordplay that goes on. So I'm like, AI, can you, I mean, it's good for some things.
AI cannot do your creativity. What is inside of my mind, what comes out of me, it can't do that.
I was going to say, I feel like AI because I got a new idea every 5 seconds. Like, you know what I mean?
Y'all hire Jennifer.
Right. Speaking to me, I'll give you
AJ.
Yes. Right. But the thing is to use it as a tool, not to replace.
Not to replace.
That's right.
And as a person who don't like typing emails, sometimes I'll be like, oh my God. Even sometimes when I'm creating that Facebook post or whatever social media post, I'm just kind of like, okay. And then sometimes if I post it, I'll be like, man, this autocorrect. Then I got to go back and I got to do it. And then like somebody's like, don't you type them out beforehand? I'm like, sometimes no. You know, sometimes I don't schedule it. I want to say 90% of the time I don't, right? I just be thinking, I'm going to say this today. And that's just
a lot
what
of times
it is.
It pops in. Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Because a lot of stuff that comes off the cuff definitely is where I've had my most brilliant moments. Where I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I just thought of that. I didn't even.
And honestly, some of the things that I think is just the bomb and that I plan out don't really be, you know, popping as much as I think it should.
As the impulsive stuff, right?
Yes. Exactly. And I'll be like, now wait a minute, I put a whole
lot of work into
this.
Right.
Yes. And so it's happened a couple of times. So something I'm working on now, I'm like, I ain't gonna think about this too hard because I want this to pop off.
Exactly. And because when you overthink it, you try to make it too perfect. And sometimes the mistakes or the imperfections is what makes it great. Just like when you wearing something that you don't think is that cute, and everybody be like, "Oh, this is so cute." You be like, "You know what? They don't know. I got this off Shein. Jesus, I got this off the Burlington clearance right. Yeah, Shein is the shit. By the way.
Yeah, I've gotten some things off Shein that actually.
Yeah,
I like Shein.
Yeah, So ladies, I want to welcome everyone who's watching. Hey, Vanita. Welcome, ladies, mompreneurs. I want to thank you all for coming. Love both of you all. Admire both of you all. Dorothea knows. You know, we like I said, we go back. You know, I really appreciate you, and I just appreciate you how at times you'll pull my coattail like, okay, nah. I'll be like, oh, okay, and I've followed Jennifer and stalked her for a while. Okay, let's just put that out there. I done stalked her for a while. Hey, TT, because I always. It's not random when I pick guests. You know, I've thought about it for a little while and looked at people and I'm like, okay. So that's why I end up having 2 ladies per show because it's so many. I mean, it's so many mompreneurs.
And it gives us a chance to connect, right? Because I feel like we met before, we were online, and then
we never had a chance to just sit down and have a conversation.
Exactly. And it gives a chance because that part is always important.
Yeah, I love that. That's one of the highs that I get because that's the social worker and my grandma, Georgia Ann, and me connecting people. And I feel like everything we need is within our network.
It is.
Everything. You need someone to bake you a cake. You need someone to watch your baby. You need an attorney. You need a photographer. We got it all here. So, and I love when I can connect people. Just earlier today, one of my girlfriends, she was giving away $5,000 to a nonprofit in the Macomb County area. So I text my other girlfriend like, look, you need to call her. Hurry up. Because I immediately thought of her. And I just love when people can connect like that and they can help each other.
Absolutely.
So, and again, this is another example. So first I'm going to start with Jennifer. All things Detroit. Let's ask Jennifer just in a nutshell. How did you get to this point?
Oh, let me try to get this elevator pitch together. No, but ask Jennifer, you know what? I have been in business 12 years, started my business in my 1-bedroom apartment where I just wanted to pay off my car, right? I would do these events where I was selling pure romance and I was not very good at it, may I say. And so, you know, I just had friends.
Romance is good, by the way. It is. They got some good.
And I had like a friend who sold earrings. Another friend did this and that. And my background was in construction. And I worked at Nikki's part-time on the weekends. And so I would move my furniture around and have this event called Pamper Pick and Purchase once a month in my 1-bedroom apartment. And then I started to do these pamper events at Nikki's. And then I went to Nikki's and said, you know what? I'm born and raised, city of Detroit, East Side. And I just was like, oh,
yes.
I knew I was going to fill this group today. All the East Side energy.
The energy is different when you East Side. That's all I'm going to say, okay?
And so, just long story short, I told him I want to be a part like of Detroit and like everybody, because everybody's moving to Detroit. And I'm like, everybody's moving here. I had moved back from Florida in 2010. And I was like, all these different people. The city looking a little different. I'm, from here, born and raised here. So I want to do something called All Things Detroit. I said, I should do an event called All Things Detroit. He's like, that's not a good idea. And so I moved.
Who was he?
He was like the manager at Nikki's.
Okay.
And so I moved the event from Nikki's to a place in Eastern Market, not the actual Eastern Market. And it wasn't a very good experience. And I went home and cried like a baby. And that was in 2014. And then I took my rent money in 2014, October, put it down on the Eastern Market. And I had a successful event where I had to me, I was like, oh, it's 300 people here. #winning, quitting this job. But I was miserable in my job. I was miserable and I made the people around me miserable. So I quit and I didn't have any money and no planning. I probably needed money chat then. And I did not. But it was the peace of mind for me.
Yeah.
And so my plan was to grow my business and, take care of myself. But I had no idea that it would be at the magnitude of what it is right now. And so when I went home and I quit my job and I canceled cable and I was sitting here looking about crazy trying to figure out my next move, I just was like, what is going to make me different than people who are in business overall, right? Everybody's in it for money and this, but I was meeting all these people who just like, I quit my job. I want to do this, but I got a family and I want to do this and I want to do that. And so I was like, I really have to be a person for the people. You have to be genuine. You have to be authentic.
Yep.
Just being yourself, because if you're out here trying to be influencers and chasing money and, hey, I ain't going to say this unless you give me $50 and all of these things. And so, I just kind of went from there. And then, of course, we're doing All Things Detroit, just building it up. And then with no sponsorships or anything like that, just putting what I make back into it.
Wow.
And then I started All Things Marketplace in 2017. Nobody was feeling it. I wanted to take what I did online, offline. And then we hit with a pandemic in 2020. I got a grant from Lowe's. I bought a delivery truck and I turned myself into an Amazon for local businesses. And that's what All Things Marketplace is. So if there's ever a pandemic, if we ever on lockdown, anybody who's selling fruits, vegetables, clothing, shoes, we're going to be shipping it and delivering it from All Things Marketplace, because I never want to go through that ever again. So just making those ways to, just kind of pivot, but just also be an advocate for small business. It is so important to me, and I meet cool people and I love what I do.
Yeah.
I love what I do.
And I was there at the first one
in 2014
at Eastern Market.
October 26, 2014.
Eastern Market. So I remember when it was coming about, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I was like, I got to go down. And it was packed. It was packed. It was off the hook. And I was like, this is amazing. I remember following you and just following ever since then, because it was different. You accomplished your goal. Like if nobody ever told you that year, we were like, you accomplished your goal. And it was it was an amazing event.
Thank you.
You got to start somewhere. Because Jennifer, she was like, it was only 300 people. That's a lot of damn people.
It was, but you know what? I had one food truck. I had two. One took off and didn't pay me any money. It's okay now. I forgive you. And it
That's
was
all right, karma. Though.
Yeah, and you know what? I here I am, like this, Black woman. My background is not this, right? So it was like self-educating myself and figure it out. I didn't go to college. I don't have a degree, none of those things. And so I just really wanted to do something for myself, because in growing up, my parents talked to me about paying bills and working a job and paying your rent. They didn't talk to me about credit and ownership and starting a business. And nothing against them, but I just felt like the bare minimum was not okay for me.
Exactly.
And that I don't want to, let's break the cycle, right? Yeah. Let's break the cycle. And so that's why I do what I do, but also I love what I do.
Yeah.
I love what I do.
And I'm here to tell you that college wasn't going to prepare you for this.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Because I realized I went to college, but I learned how to manage a corporation's money. I learned how to manage a corporation's
not
business.
Your own.
I didn't learn how to manage. Well, they give you one little pity personal finance class, but you're talking about stuff it wasn't relevant. You know what I mean?
Right. That you could apply in the real world.
The stuff that we learn as entrepreneurs That's not in anybody's book. I'm sorry.
It definitely is not, because these ups and downs and figuring it out, all of these things, I'm like, there is no book on this. And like, even when you speak, you think about it when you speak and people hire you to speak, or you come and you talk, and they were like, well, what book did you read to us? I said, there is no one book.
The book of Jennifer.
There is no the book of life, right? Like the the lessons of life, the school of life. But I said, there's no one book that's going to show you to beat anxiety. It's no one book that's going to just teach you all of these things that's happening in the world. You have to do what works best for you.
That's right.
And that's what I tell people. I tell them, don't feel pressure, but the consistency part is what you got to do, because it's the trenches, right? It's a journey. And like, I hear I hear, girl, who are you? What have you done? This, and all the things. And I just be like, I understand. And then I just have learned to. And before I used to be like, oh my God, somebody help me. This is so not fair. Then I had to, pull my big girl panties up and just be like, yeah, this life ain't right.
Exactly.
And so you figure it out.
That's right.
And when you have great people in your circle and great support, that is the thing. And so I have
my bell. Dang, I'm right.
It's over there.
Ring the bell. Okay. Okay.
And these business owners, though, have become great friends.
Yes.
So supportive. And one day, I'm gonna say what Kari, Detroit is there. I'm gonna shout him out really quickly. One day I said, Kari, man, I feel like I'm doing all this work, but my bank account is not reflecting.
Okay.
Baby.
And he said, but Jennifer, you have the people. And when you have the people and the people support, that's worth way more than money. Because when you're in trouble, Jennifer, the people that you've helped, that you never asked for anything in return, you can call on your people.
Yeah.
And you know what? During the pandemic, people had to be patient, right? Because everybody was just having a hard time. So I'm just blessed and thankful that I'm still here. I'm still in business, being able to grow, pivot, and thrive, and just coming into my own. You know what I mean? And feeling good and confident about myself. Because I think that that's one thing that made me a better businesswoman too.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love Thea, like
absolutely.
Yeah. So, ladies, shout out to everyone watching. TT from the D, my fellow podcaster, Tamala. Yes, ladies, we listen. TT, you coming up next. Yes, queens, sisters supporting sisters. Absolutely. So, Dorothea.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us a little snapshot. Again, about your journey, because you already told us when you were first here, but tell us.
Yes. So
give us an update. How you got into money chat and all of that. Like, Lord. What was the moment you was like, I need to were you good with money as a kid, or you just
I was broke. My family was broke. That's the story. So I was already doing business coaching when I started Money Chat. So I was a single mother, 2 girls. I was going to school full time, working full time. Back then, they didn't have that name for, there's a name for the working poor. Every so often, depends on who's in charge, there's new names for your situation. So that's what the situation was. I lived on the east side, and
of course,
my 2 girls and me, and I had actually bought a house at 21. Another story, but I was like, there has to be a better way than me trying to just figure this thing out. I'm tired of creditor calls, all the things, and you're trying to hang up on them and do all the things. And I was like, this is not the life. Like, this can't be it. And I probably was about 22, and I was like, there's got to be a better way. I was already in school, working full time. I said, I'm going to learn money. I have got to learn this thing, because everybody I knew was in debt. Everybody I knew didn't have much money. So, and nobody was talking about management. Nobody was. Everything was like, everybody I knew was borrowing and in debt and doing all the things. And so I said, I want to learn. So I started teaching myself, started listening to everything I could, doing everything I could. Seminars, y'all know we used to have them seminars back in the day. Go to the seminars.
Right. They call them summits now.
The summits. Oh yeah, I got to use new language.
Workshops.
New language. Podcasts. And I started teaching myself, and I said, I was in school, and I was going to be a financial advisor. But in order to be a financial advisor, you got to know people with money.
Right.
And so I had somebody tell me that
people like us ain't getting no financial. That's corporate.
They was
talk,
like, Dorothea, if you don't go on over there. But I had one of the top Black financial advisors at Morgan Stanley at the time. And he just kept it really real with me. He's like, how many people do you know of high net worth? I said, nobody. He said, this industry, and back then this is what it was. It was sales. It was not like it is now education. I wanted to educate.
Yeah.
So I was playing around online one day, and I found somebody doing. I said, this is what I want to do. I learned about an emergency fund. I had never. I never. How old were you when you learned about an emergency fund? I had never heard about an emergency fund. I was like, how do you do this? And when I learned it, I was like, oh, the world must know. The world must know.
I think COVID took my emergency fund.
Right. So what's right quick? So is that something different from regular savings? An emergency fund?
Your emergency fund is for emergency. So that, like for me, I almost cried in the dentist's office one time. I had to excuse myself out of his office because he was telling me how much my daughter's dentist bill was going to cost. And I said, excuse me, girl. I didn't want to just bust out in tears and ball up on the man's floor. But that was the difference. So I had that experience. And then once I built up an emergency fund, which is $1,000 initially, and that's because every emergency, you got a $50 emergency. I could get 5 people to give me $10 to get up on it.
Right, exactly.
Right. But it's that $1,000.
Right.
It's that $500.
Right.
Nobody
it's like when your car break down or something.
Jennifer, I was just thinking when that transmission go out, baby.
I don't like any type of
or even
car,
tires.
Anything.
Yes.
And we're not gonna talk about these potholes. It seemed like my car every winter my car was going out with the potholes.
It's horrible. Yeah,
and that's $400 right there.
If not more, don't need rotors.
And my dentist sent home a referral for my son to get evaluated by an orthodontist for braces. I put that on the table like, no, he don't need braces. He good. Because I'm not
get that baby. You gonna get that baby some braces. Get that baby
that's about
some
to
braces.
Be $4,000 to $6,000.
Most certainly is you're gonna get on the payment plan, baby. We're gonna get him some braces. Thank you. Tell him I said. Tell him thank you. Tell him to send me a card.
She gonna coach you all the way through the process and let you know how you gonna get.
But see, that's something. So let's talk about that. So I learned how to do an emergency fund because I didn't want to be broken. I didn't want my girls. 2 things. I was a single mother and I did not want, and I had help, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, as a single mom, it's on you. But I did not want, you know how you kind of, there's a stigma, and this is a whole nother conversation, but there's a stigma on single parents, fathers and mothers, and mothers especially.
Absolutely.
And so
Black single mothers.
All day. I didn't want there to be, oh, your child can't go to this camp, or your child can't do this, because I was a single mother.
And I have a lot of I'm not a single mother. I've never experienced that, but all of my friends, just about all of them, were single mothers. You know, and so that's what they would tell me, like, man, you know what I mean? I got this to do and this, and it's hard. It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you don't want your child to come up and not, not have this advantage. Yes, because of this. But
that's right.
I have a friend, she works 2 jobs. She works one in the day and one in the evening.
Listen,
she's a single mom.
Listen, I worked 2 jobs when I needed to. Back then it wasn't as easy as it is now. So I did, I sold candles. I made jewelry. I used to make crystal jewelry. I did everything. I cleaned houses and
you do what you gotta do.
And I taught my girls. But that's kind of how Money Chat was born. I had already started financial coaching, like probably when I was like around 26, something like that.
So you just start taking like your own clients, like just getting clients.
So I studied.
Coach.
I studied and looked up, I did research and all the things, and I was a finance major. And then from there, Twitter came along, and I got to give a shout out and thank Hodge Flemings. I always have to thank him.
I just saw Hodge yesterday, actually.
Listen, so when Twitter first came out, I was already like on social and doing all the things. When Twitter came out, I was like, no more. So I remember we used to go to all these tweet chats and all these things, and we all be hanging out. And I said, Hodge, when is Twitter going away? Like, is this a fad? I need this to be a fad. He was like, no. He said, hold on. You just hold on and just be patient with it. So I said, okay, I got to master this. So I mastered Twitter. I got Money Chat and built a brand around it. So I was already coaching. Money Chat was a way to take the complicated conversation, a shameful conversation, and bring it online. And online, everybody was free to talk.
Right, because people don't like to talk about their money.
Yes,
people don't like to talk about how much money they make or how much money they're spending.
I do not like to talk about money. I feel like it is so uncomfortable because I think that when people see online things or they see you doing certain things, they think you got a whole lot of money. And it just don't work like that. But they don't even think about, there's people that we probably watch on TV every single day, or we watch somewhere doing something that we may think they got it going on. And these same people are like, what's the one lady, the Fix My Life? She said that she didn't have any money in her bank account.
Because she spent it all. She said that she knew she had big checks coming. So she said that she spent it all knowing another check came. No, when she got the check, she spent that boy. And then she knew Oprah got another one coming. And then Martha had another one coming. Yeah, girl.
Wait a minute. So let's get back to the emergency fund right quick.
Yes, emergency
so
fund.
that's different from a regular savings account.
Ask that question.
So, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all.
No,
I know we go on tangents.
I think I think that makes sense.
Because one of our guests was saying Ron Leffer. Shout out to Ron Leffer. He was like, "You supposed to have 6 months." Say.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's talk about this, Ron. Let's have a conversation.
Do I even have 6 weeks?
So here's the thing, and I'm gonna tell you, when I first heard this, I don't want anybody's head to spin around. When I first heard this, I about gave up. When somebody told me I had to have 6 months emergency fund, I said, "Well, forget this foolishness."
6 months. I thought it was 3 months.
Well, no, I'm about to break it. I'm about to break it all down. Okay. So here's the deal. Your first deal is get $1,000 in the bank into a savings account, high yield savings account. That is for emergencies. Okay. That is separate from your savings. We're gonna talk about the kind of savings you should have. Okay, that's your $1,000 car, all those little crazy things that go on that you be in tears about. Then you start paying off your debt. This is called the debt snowball method. Then you start paying off the debt, and when you pay that debt off, your $1,000 is sitting over here. So now you leave that alone until you need it. But all the extra money that comes in, them tax returns, them bonuses, lump sums, you working DoorDash, you put all of that on your debt after you've listed it smallest to largest. Now, once you've paid off
the smallest to largest debt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Start with the smallest one up to the okay.
And I like this because it works, because it does give you that feeling of accomplishment.
Right.
When you pay it off smallest to largest, at least but when you pay it off, don't let it go into the black hole. Whatever you were paying on those bills, you put on the next bill and then the next one. That's how you keep it from going into the black hole. Right. I know that black hole is real.
I got an extra $300. Don't go
to Big Lots and get the table.
Listen,
let's not do that.
Get the cushions. Right. No. And then you have other savings accounts. So these are the savings accounts, the accounts I tell people to have. And I know there's different trains of thought, but this works for me and my clients. You have your emergency fund. Then you have a checking account that you pay your bills out of. Then you have a savings account for non-monthly expenses, not like the car insurance that you don't pay monthly. Like if you pay it once a year, your property taxes, if you pay it once a year. So if let's say your property taxes are $6,000 a year, divide that by 12 and put that much money in that account every month. That way, when the tax bill comes, you're not crying tears.
I didn't even think about the insurance part, because I do pay my every 6 months. Insurance is high. I'll tell you. But then when it comes around, I'll be like, man, is it time for that again? But if you are
planning for it, same thing with your car repairs. You're gonna need tires. Cars.
Yes.
Maintenance. So everything in your budget should have a line item. So have a line item for your car maintenance, for your property taxes, for all these things, and for your shopping. Listen, for the hairdos, the nails, the barber, whatever it is you like to do. Some people have some habits that they need to put a line item in too.
I think I got like that. I feel like I have a hair habit.
Listen. The hair has to be done, okay?
Yes.
Because I'm not, as you can see, I don't only wear my wedding ring. I don't do a whole lot of, I do beauty supply jewelry and all that. I don't really do a whole lot of expensive stuff.
I don't shop a lot either. But I think I spend the most money when like I have a photo shoot to shoot content. But that's a business. Right. It's like a business expense. Yeah. So that is when I'll shop and buy things and that. But for the most part, my man be like, can we please not do this hoodie today? And he says, any shoes that's by the door, you put them on. Can we not do that? I'd be like, they're right here. It's fine. I'm just gonna throw these on today.
I'm gonna tell you, and this is a whole nother conversation, but I had to start making myself buy expensive things. That's a whole nother conversation.
We deserve luxury, though.
We do. I did an interview with somebody, and they asked me. My whole thing, like you say, I grew up broke. So my whole thing was I wanted to make money to help other people and make sure my family was good and my kids and stuff. So that's what I like. I didn't even have a bedroom set. I had bought my kids like 2 bedroom sets, and I had never bought myself a bedroom set.
Listen here. Growing up, my bed was my father's twin bed when he was a kid.
Wow.
Well, my mom bought me a bedroom set. I don't want you to be like, girl. But
I'm sorry. Rest in peace, Daddy. And I'm sorry, Mama. But that bed was my father's bed. And it was like, it's perfectly fine. And so I think that I do invest in like furniture.
Yeah.
Because like I like my house, like my place where I live. Yes.
Good furniture lasts.
Yes. And I felt like, you know what,
Right.
when I got older, I'm like, I'm getting me like a real bed. And I paid a lot of money for this mattress.
Okay.
And I don't want one of those like, you know, pink and blue mattresses and all of that you get from the other place.
You know what?
So
you ain't gonna go to the listen. You took it there. Took it there.
I'm just saying, that was one thing for me, and I was like,
on Middle Belt and get that mattress.
No, on Gratiot, you know, Gratiot.
Where they leaning up against the wall. They be leaning up against the wall.
I'm like, no, thank you.
I bought all the mattresses. Do you understand?
But so that's why I'm gonna ask, how do we get out of the poverty mindset?
Okay, so
because that's
once you start making more money,
yeah, it'd be hard because the more money you make, the more you spend.
This is true.
It's like
you have to a couple things. Number one,
discipline is an issue for me. It's an issue. The discipline
you got to get that together before you start buying things, because discipline is going to be important because you have to secure your future.
Yeah.
So that goes back to that line item. If you give yourself a you know, I want a new patio set, you put that in a line item. So then that way everything you want, you put in a line item. I also save money. Like I save money I love Digit app, or like those apps where Acorns where you save.
Oh yeah.
And they say, so I'll save all year. And then at the end of the year, I'll go buy my bag, or we gave my mother a really nice 65th birthday party from the money that was in that account. And I act like it's not there. So you just have to kind of trick yourself in some ways with that. But you asked another question. Oh, poverty mindset. So the thing of it is, honestly, some people, you have to make a decision. Like with some people, like me and my girlfriend, we walk in the luxury stores, like go in there and we go in there and I say, touch that bag, touch that $5,000 bag, touch it,
baby,
touch that bag. I said, you can have that bag. I said, don't worry about that. Oh, I can't spend that money, you know. And I used to be
because I couldn't imagine paying $5,000 for a purse.
Well, if you got $5,000 and some more stuff you can.
But you know, I feel like mine is different. I will put $5,000 in, or like I'm a gadget person, but whatever that thing I'm buying is like to make money. Like during COVID, I started doing photography. So I got a really nice camera. So when there's events, I'm shooting, you know, like I'll say, I'll shoot these couple of pictures. Whenever there's a new MacBook coming out, I want the new MacBook.
But Jennifer,
yes.
What about something that is just because?
Yeah.
So that is
we should treat ourselves. I agree.
Yeah. That is what my husband yells at me about. And he just says, what do you do that is for Jennifer?
Boom. Yeah. Boom.
And so you know what the thing is too, and just real talk, I'm just being very transparent. I think that at this point in my life right now, I am trying to rediscover what I used to love to do before I had a business.
Yes, because your business took over.
Yeah, and then I love to travel, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll be like, oh, do I go here? I don't want to come back to a bunch of emails. Or, oh, do I do this? And it's important to do. But just being honest, like, you know, when you love what you do and it's kind of like a hobby and you enjoy it, but at the same time, you know, you need to take a break. And so I used to love to travel. I used to go to these skating events with my friends out of town. You know, we would go to Atlanta. We would go to like Virginia Beach, and we would do these things. And it could be a weekend.
Yeah.
But it's like I have to make time and do
it's
better.
time to plan one.
Right. And so for me, I think the thing is balance, because I'm just so excited and I'll be in the mix of what I'm doing.
Yes.
But at the same time, like you said, what is that just because for me was that camera, and it's like that ain't really just because.
Because you work
exactly.
But I had to get there too, because I went from raising kids. I never had a moment. Somebody, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I don't know if I needed to know this, but somebody told me, well, Dorothy, you never had a chance to be a kid, because I had a child young. I'm like, I just do what got to be done. Like that's what I do.
Yeah.
So I have always taken care of somebody. But when the last child went off to college, left, my husband was like, we should get a dog. I was like, no, I have spent my entire life taking care of something.
Exactly.
I can't do it. So I think that it's important for us as entrepreneurs, as mompreneurs, to have some things for us. For me, I used to dance. Like I would be dancing 3 nights a week, out ballroom, all the things.
I feel like we done probably seen you at yesterday's or something.
That's what I want to
ask.
That's
where I met my husband.
Yeah.
Really?
At yesterday's, yes.
Oh my
Lord,
God.
I've been dancing for 20 plus years.
But I remember when yesterday's used to be in like the Ramada.
Yes, ma'am. And I met my husband at Michigan Inn.
And then it was yesterday's Paradise.
Yep,
and then what's yesterday's now used to be Mr. Mike's, right? I used to go to the Network. I used to go to the Rapture and Greektown Casino. You know, like Jennifer used to hang out quite a bit.
My 25th birthday was at yesterday's in the Ramada.
Lord. Really?
Mm-hmm.
So, ladies, what for you as mompreneurs? Let's talk about some struggles you've had to overcome. What are some things? Tell me some things that you love about being an entrepreneur, and some things that still challenge you as an entrepreneur. I'll start with Jennifer.
So I'm a bonus mom, and I just became a bonus mom.
And both of them have blended families, right?
Yes.
Yep. Both of you ladies.
And I don't have any biological children of my own. And then honestly, I'll share is that like I always wanted to be a mom. And this is a little off your question. I always wanted to be a mom, but you know, in 2009, I actually had 2 cysts on my ovaries, and I had to have one of my ovaries removed. And so at that time, you know, you're 29 years old as a woman and your body is going through these things. It's like, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, am I ever going to be able to have kids? And like the doctor's like, well, sure. But I never, ever got pregnant ever, you know. And so they say it's still possible, that it's a thing. But right now I'm 43, right?
Listen, don't be
and
don't get too comfortable, because I'm gonna laugh at your ass when you talk about you pregnant next year.
Don't you dare blasphemy. Don't you put that in the universe.
Invite me to the baby shower. Listen.
No. But I am a bonus mom, and I think that, you know, just becoming a bonus mom, I'm thankful that I am a mom. You know, me and my bonus son, we have a great relationship. Sometimes he be wanting to be a little you know, a little mom stuff. He is 7. He'll be 8. But he actually has a business for himself, which is called Cool Kids Look Like Me. And then my husband, and they're doing like a hot dog cart for him. It's called Dally Wally Dogs, because his name is Dallin. And so something that they can do together. So he knows that I'm his Jennifer. So I never want to be disrespectful to his mom. I have the most respect for her. Right. And so I say, you have a mommy and a Jennifer. And you are so blessed, because baby, let me tell you, everybody ain't got a Jennifer, but you got a Jennifer. And so he's like, yeah. And so I feel like I would teach him. I just teach him things. It's like when I grow, you know, when he gets a little angry, I say, we stop, we breathe, we try again. So I think the struggle for me though too is now being a bonus mom, and like I have to take a time out and go to a game, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same
I
thing.
have to take a time out. And, you know, I got to take him to work with me sometimes when my husband has to go to work. And like a couple weeks ago, he said, like, Jennifer, do you got to work on Saturday? And I was like, yep, I got to go to the shop. And he was like, I want you to go to my game. And, you know, he comes every other weekend. And then sometimes we get him, you know, off weekend. Nobody really calculates what weekends they're getting everybody. You know, we're just parents.
You're working together.
Yes. Good. And so I'm just like, man, you know, I'm like, I really have to balance, because I think that family time is important, and that is the challenge. And the part for me, I'm like, because I'm thinking like, oh, his mom's there, you know, his dad's there, he ain't really thinking about me. But when he asks me directly, because I be thinking I be driving him crazy, because I'm like that mama, be like, boy, you know, you better sit down, what you doing now, you know. But I also love him, I hug on him, and I talk to him, you know, I talk to him just like,
and they appreciate that discipline.
And I kind of just be like, why you want to just be bad today? I'll be like, what's going on? Like, is we gonna really do this? And then I'll record him and be like, look at you, you was clowning just like 5 minutes ago. I'll be like, look at it, he want to put the cover over his head and everything. I'll be like, you was just tripping. I'm like, we gonna do this today, Coach Cheese? So what's happening? Like, I just,
not Coach Cheese.
That's what I call him all the time.
She went all the way back.
Yes. And he's so sweet. But he puts his All Things Detroit staff shirt on. He knows that, you know,
train him up.
Jennifer, it does All Things Detroit, but we like to have him there in the mix with it. But the challenge is just like, man, like, I can't focus on, like, I gotta be open, I gotta get that money, I gotta go to that game. And I have to do better. Like, So I told my husband, like, let's go bowling or let's just do this. And sometimes I'm tired and I just want to sit on the side of my bed and watch my garbage TV.
Right.
But I have to do better.
Go skating, Jennifer.
Right. Listen, I probably won't even get on those skates right now, girl. I'll be looking.
That's what we did during the pandemic. We went to,
I haven't done it in so long, and I wasn't really that good when I was going. I was just going for the hangout, right?
The fun.
I was going for the hangout, but I think I need to like incorporate some activity. We do go like fishing, and then like,
oh, that's good.
He loves to go fishing. He loves to swim, and so when my husband's like, "Oh, we just gonna go, up here to Monroe and fish," I said, "No, I found a hotel. We'll stay the weekend and go, and we can go fishing, and that way he can go swimming." Like, so we make it even a staycation or a local weekend. But I just recognize that, like, you're a bonus mom, but you got to put that time in.
So juggling the schedule.
Juggling the schedule.
Because I had a meltdown on the way here. Like, listen, kid, come on now. My baby had basketball practice. I'm like, listen now, come on, so I can drop you off. So, but thank God for the village.
Yes.
So
but
for you,
it's the being fully present. It's the put your phone down at dinner.
Yeah.
And set the rules in the household.
That phone.
No phones. And I don't even like when we're out with the phones, I'm conscious because I know I'm addicted to the phone. Because everything we do is on there.
Yeah. Wow.
So I am learning through some of my woosah friends. I'm not a woosah person, but my woosah friends, they are getting together.
What's a woosah?
Put your phone down. Be fully.
I'm not that one either. But
I'm tapping in. Listen, tap in. Oh my God, it's a beautiful thing. If you tap in, because I've never been that way. Everything is go, do.
Yes.
But if you put that phone away and really look
you
at
don't
somebody
feel right,
when they're talking, So that's my thing, being and knowing when to stop working. Like I will work all night.
Taking a break.
I could work all night. I could sit in my shop till whatever time. I could be like, I'm just gonna finish this, and I'm gonna finish.
Then you get into a flow.
Yeah.
And then I get into a flow, but then I'm also have that habit of picking up my phone, scrolling. Yeah. I am a scrolling
then
queen.
You're there longer than you need to be.
Yeah. See, and I think we have to be intentional about, and that's part of self-care.
Yeah.
To being intentional about putting the phone down,
because it's too much screen time even for us.
Right, exactly. And that's why I still love reading books.
Me too.
When I get a chance, ooh, baby.
Too.
And I'm not talking about electronic books.
No,
I
paper.
Still right. Speaking of books, let's right quick. Let's go into Dorothea's. Is this the second edition of your book?
This is the second edition.
Okay, of her book.
Of Money Chat. I got one for everybody.
Now see this. Let me smell it. Look, you know what? I'm crazy.
Yes,
I'm
this
crazy.
is Money Chat,
y'all.
So this is
available on your website.
This is available on everywhere that you buy books.
Okay,
Target, Amazon, Barnes and Noble.
Love it. Should be at All Things Marketplace, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
It's gonna be there soon.
Yes. So. This is the second edition. I wrote the first book in 2014.
Okay.
And it actually launched in 2015.
Here, let me put it over here.
I got married in 2014 and launched in 2015. And I added the things in here that I felt like were missing and what was needed for now, where we are now in the economy.
Right.
I love that.
I even put a crypto section in there so people could get their life together and fully understand it versus just jumping on everything, know what you're doing. Know what you're doing.
I love that. I'm looking forward to actually reading this. It's probably what I need to do instead of.
I know I do. I ain't go front.
Yeah, I definitely know that I do.
Because the key is, and everybody can get it at it's moneychatbook.com, but and on Amazon and everywhere else. But the key is I'm not going to tell you there's not a season when you got to buckle down and don't spend a dime so you can reach some goals, but that shouldn't be your entire life.
Right. Yeah.
So at some point you've got to decide, okay, I'm going to master my money. I'm going to be in control. Now, how do I do that? And that's what I teach you in the book.
Okay. I love that.
I love it. And so also, child. So ladies, let me ask, as a mompreneur, what are some must-haves for you?
For the business or for
as a mompreneur, however you want to categorize it.
I'm starting to tap into the woo. So I need massages. I need to go over there to that mental health gym.
See, okay, so that was gonna be my next question. What do you do for your mental health? Is that because May is Mental Health Awareness Month? So
that's just occurring this year. I don't want to act like I've been doing it. I haven't. Okay, that's this year. That's Dorothy.
You said tap into the woo. So
I'm tapping
into
the woo.
The woo side.
And you've been getting, you said massages.
Yes.
You don't realize how much tension you got up here until they get the.
Instead of getting it once a year, you really need to get it once.
I have a gift card for a massage from last year that someone gave me, and I have not used it yet. I know.
Right. I know that's right. You know, but and see, that's part of the issue I think with mompreneurs. We are so great at what we do because we have that dedication and we have that perseverance and resilience. But as sometimes it can go, we need to know to say when and take care of ourselves.
Yes.
We do. And say, I'm tired. Like the other day when I called you, was like, I'm going to buy some fruit today. I'm relaxing. This is what I'm doing. And I'm like, yes, go do it.
Yes,
Shit.
yes. And I did. And I think that I don't even know. This is so sad. I feel like so sad. I don't even know what my must have would be. I'm so messed up, lady.
Maybe it's tech in your business, something like that.
You said maybe it's what?
Like a tech thing you love in your business.
I love to create, right? I come up, I think, with my most creative ideas in the middle of the night when I'm just sitting on that side of that bed watching First 48 or something. I'd be like, I should do this.
Right.
But you know what? I'm going to share something I've never really shared before.
I love it.
I really am getting into my content creation. And what I love about it is that when I was in my 20s, I've always been like a plus size girl. And I used to want to be a plus size model. And I used to feel like, I'm a heavy girl. Ain't nobody thinking about that, like that type of thing. But I have been loving working with my photographer, D. Hughes. Shout out to him. And so I've been loving to create. So the must have for me is to be able to create, right? And like create how I want to be seen, right? And how feeling good and what I'm doing. I just shot like a campaign for my summer markets. For every season, I shoot some type of campaign. And so I did a glow in the dark campaign that I actually came up with. And it sounds like, what? Glow in the dark. But when you see it, you like,
sounds very creative.
That's like that right there.
When you did the Aaliyah and the other.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah.
Yes. And I just came up with that sitting in my shop like, I'm going to be these different ladies for Women in History Month. And so I am loving to create. My must have is to be able to do those photo shoots. And what's so funny is that if I could, I would probably do a photo shoot once a month from a person who did not like to take photos. Now I love to
see the evolution. I don't know how old you are, but I'm 46. And I think like when you get in your 40s,
yes, I'm 43.
It's like the I don't give a fuck 40s. You really you don't. You be like I'm going to live how I want to live. I'm going to explore. I mean,
and so that's my must have. I like to do my photo shoots. Like that's my fun time. I like to kind of get dressed up and like be fierce, right? And like be this because on my everyday, I need my hoodie and them shoes at the door, right? And so I think my must have is my ability to create. And I'm relaxed when I'm doing it. I'm having fun and I feel so good when I'm doing it.
All right. See, and I didn't want to, and that's how I didn't want to limit that to like, oh, it's gotta be a material thing. Because a lot of times we think tangible things are what but it's a lot of those intangible things are really what you need. That peace of mind to be able to control.
What fuels you?
Right. So that's making me think about Workspace Spark.
Yeah.
Now, so that's kind of explain that, Dorothea, because that's the box you put it on.
I don't know where we put the box.
I thought y'all put behind you.
Work. I don't know. This is my purse. Work.
I feel like I want to.
Where the box is it under there?
Okay, I was gonna say it was just on the floor. It couldn't have went that far. Yeah.
So I brought this one for you, right?
Thank you. Because this sparks creativity, right? This is so your workspace is not so dull. And
what is it exactly?
I love it.
So Workspace Spark is an office decor, career growth, community subscription box, and corporate gifting box. So it started again, as if I didn't have anything else to do. I had this idea when I was in corporate, 2019. I was like, I was giving away gifts. And I was like, why not do something where I said it would be great if all of this was like delivered to my door. So at first it was going to be just a gift box. Y'all ready for the first name? It's a DBA now, but I had to change it. So it's called it was Pimp Your Cube. Pimp My Cube. Because I was like, I pimp my cube out. Because when I'm in my cubicle at work, my staff and stuff coming, they'd be like, that's so nice touching all the little things and stuff. I decorate my cubicle in my office. And I was like, and I started giving people gifts to decorate their. And I said, oh my God, this is a good idea. But I was going to do gifts. And then it said, I started researching the subscription box industry. And I was like, this is a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, I didn't know everything that was involved.
See, when you done got started on the idea,
listen, but you know
it's
what?
Like I gotta go through with it now.
Great, but great things happen by accident.
Exactly. Yeah, we was just talking about that. Like, stop trying to plan stuff. Right. Exactly.
So that's what. So it's 3 years in. I actually have a fulfillment center. We were doing it at the house in the basement. For 3 years. For 3 years, we did in the basement, and then I got. I said we got to figure something out, and I went to a fulfillment center. So now it's at a fulfillment center. They do the fulfillment of it for us, but it is delivered monthly. Every month is a different thing. We have great expert speakers.
I was gonna say, what is it? Yeah, what is? Yeah, so it's like a whole community then.
It's a community. So if you have career advice, expert trainings every month, one expert training a month. Plus the box, so that's
all in the subscription.
Plus the box, yes.
Okay, so it ain't just some stuff that I'm gonna throw to the side.
It's a whole package.
It's a community, and then
I love it.
On the corporate side, which the corporate was so good to me during the pandemic, because I launched during the pandemic. I didn't know a pandemic was coming, and and corporate really saved my tail. And so I do a lot of corporate gifting, conferences, different things like that as well. Yeah,
I love that. That's an amazing idea. Congratulations. I love it.
Thank you.
Can we see what's in
there?
Oh, yes, can I see? Can I get it? So y'all can be a little. Don't be hating on my box though.
I love the box and everything.
Can they even see this?
Yeah, just because I want you to explain.
Somebody might have to. I can hold it if somebody else will start taking stuff out.
Okay, can Jennifer? Yeah, Jennifer. Just let's see what's in there.
I'm gonna be the Vanna of this.
Yes, Vanna.
So a bag hook.
Oh yeah, okay, that way.
So
okay,
there we go.
So a bag hook.
Yes.
Ooh,
you're gonna have to go fast.
So that's when I'm going with me.
Hook, a fancy stapler. Oh, let me pull like this out here. I loving this.
Ooh.
There is a sidekick journal. This is dope right here. This is fancy. I want to buy.
I loves me a good journal. Okay.
Oh, listen here. You get some AirPods. Wireless.
All of that come in the box.
So generally 4 to 5 items.
Sticky notes
plus the career training every month.
I love it. But I love that career training part, not just giving you stuff. Yeah.
And I love the cards too.
Yeah. And we do
lunch
and learns. We do
this
Q&A.
Is awesome.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do it.
Because it's that.
So is it different levels? How much is it? Is it different levels?
There are different levels at
workspacespark.com.
But I'm gonna tell you this. This is the key that where everybody really gets great value. When you buy a 6 or 12 month, I offer 50% off your first box. But also the 6 or 12 month is also cheaper than if you 6 month is cheaper than the month to month, and 12 month is cheaper than both, because I want to reward you for being part of our community for longer. So month to month, of course, that is the one. It's month to month. That's like she got you together.
Yes, I like to put the packaging back.
So that's how it is. It's like $52.99 for the month to month. Let me get this right. $47.99 for the 6 month, a month, and $44.95 for the 12 month, because you should be rewarded the longer.
That's
you're
not
in
bad
the
at all now, because I be wasting money on other stuff. So that
I love it. I think this is awesome. And I really love the journal too.
It's like the inside scoop. There's no more water cooler at the office anymore. So people are sabotaging their careers and they don't even know it or feel it. Like it came out of me being a leader in corporate and seeing how people like, Dorothy, I want to make more money. Well, don't nobody really know who you are, and are you really doing your job? You know
what?
That kind of thing. So, and then I did a lot. I believe in mentoring. So this is how you can make it so you can get an increase, or this is what you need to do to grow in your career. It's the inside scoop. I
love that, because everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur.
No.
Everybody does not.
Everybody should not. First of all,
right. But
first and foremost,
but everybody does not want to. Yes, but everybody that is true.
Ooh, y'all dropping the truth. So Jennifer, how do you like vet people to become part of All Things Marketplace? Because I know, again, some, like we said, not everything ain't for everybody.
Yeah, you know what? During the pandemic, everybody started a business, right? Everybody's like, I start creating this, and like people follow a trend, like, oh, these tumblers, some look good, some look better than others, and so I'm very sensitive as to like, we have to make all of our events juror events where we actually sit down, because we were getting like 20 this past All Things Detroit, we got 45 applications that were candles. 45,
right,
you know,
exactly,
and it was all different, and tons of them are great. But we look at the packaging, we look at the website, we look at the pictures. We have a question on our website that says, on our application that says, why did you start your business? Because we want to tell your story. People will be like, sometimes people say, well, I don't know why you're asking me this, and then sometimes it's like denied, right? Because it's like
that kind of time,
right, we're telling the story of your business. So we really look at like the packaging, we look at like, you know, what type of business it is. We want to have a wide variety, and I always tell people, if we don't,
they actually said that. Why are you asking me this?
Yeah,
someone really
like,
typed that
why?
in.
Yeah, like one person. It was like, why? I'm not sure. Then some people just put 2018.
Yeah, because if you don't know your why, though, are you gonna keep going?
Right. And then
you gotta know your why.
And then some people just say 2018, and we're like, nope, we say why you started, why you started,
not when.
But right, why you started. But you know, I don't want businesses, because I remember when I first started out, and I would hear no, or I would feel this. I don't want businesses to get discouraged, right? So, but when you're producing something at a large capacity, it has to look a certain type of way, and you want it to be professional. We don't want it to look like a swap meet. We don't want it to look like things. So I talk to them about the professionalism. If you need help with your packaging, if you need help with something, we can connect you to the right person.
Right.
Because I never want anyone to feel like she says she an advocate, but she denied me, because I get that a lot. Like, you said no. But it's like, I can only have so many desserts. I can only have so many. And I don't want it to be the same, because if you really think about it, there's only so many categories. So we really vet them, where now, like, I just have like, there's another Jennifer who works with me, and I just say like, Jennifer, let's sit down. These are all the applications, and it's taking us longer. Usually I just breeze through, right? But it's taking us longer because we're really like vetting them and paying attention to like what they have and like their purpose and why they started. Like, I want to hear your story. I want to hear, like, guess what? My daughter had skin problems. I was in my kitchen cooking, and this what happened, and this is what I created, and I'm working on doing this, and I'm trying to be in front of this audience. And so
I was trying to make some extra money.
Yes,
it needs to be a bigger purpose than that.
Exactly.
Do the purpose, and then the money's gonna come.
Exactly. So then I started doing the vendor orientations to kind of explain our process, so people can be face to face with me and one-on-one, and know like, I'm for real. I'm not selling. I'm not up here thinking I'm this and that. I really want to help your business, and if I can't help you, I'm going to connect you to the right person. And then with all things marketplace, it's about having your products online. We want to be a shipping and fulfillment. We're a small business. We are for a small business, by a small business, Black owned. Amazon got $1 billion. That's cool. But who's to say we can't either?
That's
exactly.
With the encouragement and the structure of Money Chat helping us out here.
Okay.
And so we
got
do.
The plug.
Yes, and we do that. And so we vet them. And then some people say, well, I just want to be in the storefront. I don't want to be online. And this is not an option. You got to be online. So it's all the process. I love all the businesses, but you know, we really look at like the presentation, right? And that part
how you
is
conduct
important.
Business. That does matter. That does matter.
It does.
So we got 2 minutes left, ladies. I knew this was gonna go quick. So I want to give this opportunity for us to talk about some things that you have coming up, where people can follow you, and we have some special promotions for our viewers, and if people hear this later or whatever, because we're doing for the month of May for Momprenuers. So ladies, where can they find you, and what is the promotion you've got going on?
So for me, you can find me. I need everybody at the sound of my voice to go and get Money Chat. Go to moneychatbook.com and order your book. I've got some amazing bonuses there for you. And stay connected with me. You want to get it, gift it, share it. That's why I need everybody to go. I am at Dorothea Kelly on all social. So let's connect there as well.
Okay. Are we doing the other thing? Are we doing other thing? Go ahead. No, I want you to tell it.
We sure was, but it's gonna be okay.
We're gonna get it together.
I'm giving away 2 of the books because I love Rocky and Rocky's Reality. So we're giving away 2 books to the person who commented the most during this broadcast and who is sharing the most. Now you can still share it after. We're gonna look after and see who
share the live.
Share the live because the replay will be
and make sure you follow Dorothea.
Yes, and make sure you follow me on Instagram at Dorothea Kelly. I'm on everything. TikTok.
I got an idea already who gonna win. because she was commented a lot. So we're gonna
see. She didn't even know she did good.
Yes, because she always does the most anyway. So that's hey, natural. Okay, what about you?
All right. So on allthingsmarketplace.com, we are giving 15% off your order if you just use the promo code Rocky. And then one thing, Rocky, you are going to be able to choose who gets a 4-pack Beat the Crowd package to the next All Things Detroit. So if it's one of your viewers who you love, wherever, when we put those tickets and things out there, we will send them. It's at however you want to tell them. If they share it, however, I'll email though that 4-pack of tickets so that they can come to the actual next All Things Detroit holiday shopping experience.
Which is going to be when?
It is. So this is the thing. I should know right now because the Lions schedule just came out at 8:00. I can't have these
they're gonna be on
with
Thursday
the Lions
night
there.
football, I think.
Yeah, so I know the schedule because I'm gonna announce it. I'll know tonight, but then also just follow me as Jennifer, AskJennyfer, as Jennifer on all platforms. And I am tearing up the city this summer with events, downtown, Corktown, block parties, night markets. It is so many opportunities for small businesses, and I am just going to take it over, promote, and I want people to shop from these businesses. It's not about Jennifer, it's about supporting local, and so supporting these businesses at these events.
I love it. I love it. We're gonna have a good summer.
Yes. Come on, y'all. We fully back outside this summer.
Fully
back outside. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you. This was so fun.
It was fun.
I appreciate it. And we learned something too. I'm glad we had fun and we can learn. That's the whole goal. So this is not goodbye. This is see you later.
Yes, and I need to work on that emergency fund.
Yeah. You and me both. I'm gonna be listen, Dorothea done put us on notice. She done put us on notice. So we're gonna get it together. But thank you everyone for listening to Rocky's Reality. We'll be back next week with Kayla McGlory and Jaja Hubbard of Yeah, I Said It. And Kayla McGlory is of R&B Charcuterie. Ooh. Let me tell you, that charcuterie, she had me driving all the way to 23 Mile from Southfield. Do you hear me? Wow. I was driving all the way to Clinton Township. Like, I got to get this charcuterie. And Jaja, y'all know, Yeah, I Said It. She brings it. She's one of my fellow media professionals. So, but thank you, Dorothea and Jennifer. I really appreciate you all.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So fun.
Y'all have a good night.